She is almost 6 feet tall, and I am almost 5'2". She spent more than 25 years as a law enforcement officer, investigating, holding people accountable, building cases out of evidence and fact, and the absolute refusal to accept anything at face value. I spent my career in healthcare, caring for people, advocating for people, accepting people exactly who they are, often long past the point where accepting them was actually good for me. She can walk in a room and immediately assess what's wrong with the situation. I walk in a room and immediately assess how I can make everyone in it more comfortable. We couldn't be more different, but also, we are also so similar with our devotion, love, giving the shirt off our backs. My friend, her name is Dee, and she is my best friend. And she has shown me things about my life that I never could have seen on my own. And tonight I want to tell you about her. Welcome to the return. Wherever you are right now, in your bed, on the couch, in a quiet room with the door closed, I want you to know that for the next few minutes, you don't have to be anyone. Not the mother, or the spouse, or the manager, not the woman who holds it all together. It's just you. Let's take a deep breath together. Good. Now, I don't use the word bestie lightly. I guard my access carefully, and there aren't many people in my life who have that access. Dee has it, and she's always had it. Even when in our early days of our friendship, when we were still figuring out how two people this different could possibly work. We are ceremony and spiritual sisters. That bond between us was formalized in something deeper than circumstance. It was chosen, declared, and committed to. And 15 years later, it still holds true. I said we were different, and I want to tell you exactly how different because I think it matters. Dee sees the world through the lens of justice and accountability, of evidence and truth, and the kind of clarity that comes from 25 years of having to make judgment calls that actually mattered. She investigates everything and holds people to what they say they would do. She doesn't accept a story at face value when the evidence is pointing in a totally different direction. And I, for the most of my life, have accepted people for exactly who they showed me they were, even when who they showed me they were was someone who was taking advantage of me or hurting me. This is where Dee helped me the most. She could see before I could, long before I had ever identified myself as a people pleaser, long before I understood what it meant to give without setting boundaries. Dee would watch me in a relationship or a situation and say, sometimes gently and sometimes not, Tammy, that person is taking advantage of you. At times, I might defend the person because that's what I did. I accepted and made allowances, and I found the reason why the behavior was understandable, and my kind and compassionate nature has led me down that road and still leads me down that road today. But today I have awareness, space, and recognition. But at those times, Dee would let me finish, and then she would say something like, I see what's happening, and I'm just not going to pretend I don't. This isn't a small thing. To have someone in your life who sees what you can't see about yourself and loves you so much, loves you enough to say it, even knowing you might push back. It truly is one of the rarest gifts one person can give another. She taught me about boundaries, not by explaining them to me, but by having them herself. By watching her say no without apology. By watching her hold her line. By watching her protect her own peace the way I had only ever protected other people's peace. Slowly, imperfectly, over the years, much of that became mine too. There was a time in my life that was really hard. I was going through chemotherapy. Now, Dee is 12 hours away. Distance and circumstance made it impossible for her to be here in person. But she called consistently, faithfully, every day. She was the voice on the other end of the phone during some of the loneliness and most frightening days of my life, even though I minimized it terribly. So much, in fact, that she was the only one who saw through it. She was the only one who called, checked in, and she will never fully understand what that devotion meant to me. And what I learned at that time is that presence isn't always proximity. That a voice that knows you, really even though you were pretending you were fine, is in its own form of being there. She was there in the way she knew how to be there, and that was enough, more than enough. Now, I want to be real with you because I think real is what this podcast is for. Dee and I, in some ways, don't have a simple friendship. Two people this different with personalities this distinct don't always move in easy harmony. Her directness and my gentleness sometimes bump up against each other. Her certainty and my accommodation occasionally create friction. There are moments when her tendency to assess and mine to accept pull us genuinely in opposite directions. In 15 years, we've had really only one real argument. We worked through it, we moved on, and we never looked back. And we didn't lose each other over it. And honestly, we get annoyed sometimes. She can hear it in my voice, I can hear it in her voice. But we would never say it to each other. But sometimes I think my passiveness and acceptance bugs the heck out of her. And her investigation and inquiry does the same to me at times. Now, I want to say this clearly. The kind of friendship I'm describing isn't one without friction. Real friendships rarely are. What we have isn't the absence of irritation. It's the presence of something stronger than irritation. When it gets hard, we sometimes might take a day off, from speaking with each other or something. But the love between us never gets in the way of our irritations. It is more than all the things that bother us with each other. Pretend friends cannot hold a dynamic like ours. The differences are too real, the friction too honest, the accountability too present for a friendship built on performance to survive it. What holds us together isn't that we're the same. What holds us together is that we've chosen again and again across 15 years and 12 hours away and one real argument and all the small irritations in between to accept and love and honor exactly who the other person is. I think about what Dee has given me, the boundaries I learned to hold, the people-pleasing I learned to name, the slow, gradual understanding that being taken advantage of isn't the same as being loved. And I think about what I hope I've given her. Softness, devotion, a reminder that not everything needs to be investigated, that sometimes people, moments can simply be received. We are, I think, the reflection each other doesn't want to always see, and we're better for seeing. I want to ask you two things tonight. Just hold them. You don't have to answer them out loud. The first is, do you have a D in your life? A woman who sees you in the way I've described, who loves you enough to show you your own reflection, even when it's not the one you want to see? If there is, when did you last tell her what she meant to you? And if there isn't, what kind of friendship would you need to be brave enough to let it in? Real friendship, the kind that holds, requires us to be seeable, to let someone know us past the performance. Real friendship, the kind that holds, requires us to be seeable, to let someone know us past the performance. That isn't a small thing, but it may be the most important kind of brave. May you have a D. May you have the woman who sees what you can't see about yourself and loves you too much to stay quiet about it. May you have the friend who's 12 hours away and still shows up. The one who holds the line even when you're frustrated by it. The one who accepts you, all of you, the soft parts and the stubborn parts, without needing you to be different. And may you be that woman for someone else. Because the world changes when women choose to really see each other. Rest well tonight. I'll see you in the next episode.